quite complicated, doesn't it? I thought it was a simple recipe until I started chopping and cutting up and doing all the things that you do. But anyway, I still think it's pretty simple to make. And that's my story and I'm sticking to it. First of all, I've just got a couple of boneless pieces of fish. This is actually groper and I'm going to just flour them. I'm crumbing them in panko and Parmesan crumbs. Now be very careful how much Parmesan you put in because otherwise it'll just melt and caramelise and won't do it very well. And also use a decent Parmesan. I've got a Grana Padano here. You don't need to use Reggiano, but you do need to use a good Italian. Just shake off any excess flour, and that's going into some egg wash, which as you know, is just some milk and a small amount of egg. I would suppose a quarter of a cup of milk, 1 egg, and then crumb it. So that's our fish in Parmesan and panko crumbs. Sometimes it's quite a good idea to put that in the fridge, the fish in the fridge, because what then happens, it sets. A little bit of olive oil. In there we throw red onion, 2 or 3 cloves of garlic. And what I have here is 3 or 4 plums. The peaches were rock hard. You don't want them to be super tender, but you do want them to be a little bit tender. So they were rock hard today, so I got plums instead. And we've also got about 4 or 5 nice ripe tomatoes. In that we'll put 1 good tablespoon of raw sugar. 1/4 of a cup of wine vinegar. That's white wine vinegar, please. That goes in as well. And the juice of 1 lime. Now we're just going to cook this down until it's thick and fragrant, and I will add some salt there. Salt and pepper. All right, we'll cook that, I reckon, 10 minutes. I want it fairly thick, and I want it to have a bit of fragrance coming out of it. All right? All right, guys, a little bit of honey, and then I'll have a taste. It's sort of a relish type thing, this. I suppose it is a relish. Oh, I like that. Maybe a little bit tart. Maybe I could do some spring onions, a little bit more honey. And just a smidgen more salt. You can put some herbs in, like, you know, some chopped parsley or something, if you like. I don't think it needs it, but, you know, if you're in the mood, that's about right. So I'm just going to put that there for now. All right, let's just throw a nice non-stick pan on there. Add some olive oil to it. Actually, I'll just wait a second for that. Because what happens if you put the fish in, or anything crumbed in a pan that's not hot enough, it'll just soak up the oil. A little bit of salt on the fish. Well, goodness, my friends, I hope you're hungry, because I think that's maybe a slightly large portion. My friends recommended this, Lightfoot and Sons Rosé, Gippsland Lakes District. Now, it's made with Pinot and Shiraz, so it's light and fresh, but it's got a bit of body too. So I think that'll go beautifully with this. So there you go, really nice Parmesan and panko crumbed fish fillet with a plum and tomato relish, a hot relish that is, and a beautiful rosé. What the heck? What more do you need in life? You really don't need much more than that.